Okay, today we're going to learn the Halachos of birkas Hailonos. It's a Bracha, so once a year. It's a lot of details, so we're going to learn about this today. It's in Siman Reish Chavov. It says in the Torah, Yoytze b'mes Nissan, you go out on the days of Nissan, v'roi Hailonos, shemotziim perach, you see trees that they bring, the blossom, and the poskim bring the talk about the trees that have fruits, not fruitless trees, and you see the blossom. You say Baruch Atah Hashem Elokeinu Melech Haolam, shelo chiser ba'olam klum, u'bor brias toivos v'ilonos toivos lahonos boim b'nei Adam. We're appreciating Hashem to create such a nice creations, fruit trees, and that people could benefit from them. Okay, so that's over here Bimei Nissan. So let's talk about, first of all, what's the pshat Yemei Nissan. Some poskim saying Yemei Nissan means mamash only Nissan, not Adar, not Iyar. However, there are some saying that Yemei Nissan is lav dafka, like the Iyar Rabba brings. The Yemei Nissan, he says, it's the season of Nissan. If it blossoms on Adar, then you could say the Bracha on Adar. And if so that's the Yemei is a lav dafka. Normally says that's the Metzius. Normally it blossoms on Nissan, but if some places it blossoms a little bit earlier, that's what you're going to say the Bracha. Yeah, that's what he says over here. Hu adin roi Hailonos birkas b'chodesh Adar from Sefer Tzedel Laderech. The Chassam Sofer takes this further, and that's how we heard he says from his Rebbe Rav Nissan Adler, that he says same thing like May Nissan Lav Dafka, you could do it from Adar. He says Lav Dafka, you could do it on Iyar too. If you didn't see it on Nissan and it's still blossoming on Iyar, or just start blossoming on Iyar, depends on the season. He says you could do the Bracha too. Yeah, and he brings like this. He says the Kibalti calls the Vu adin ocha. We moy rezal Kibalti calls the Shnimshach Yemei Chodesh Nissan that Kufa letoch Chodesh Iyar. He says, for example, if the Kufa of Nissan, it's Chof Nissan, we're 4 Kufas. If the Kufa of Nissan started at Chof Nissan, so he says you could say birkas Hailonos tifchol Chof Iyar. That's according to the Chassam Sofer. So that's the shayla. If Yemei Nissan are dafke or not, like I said, it's a big machlokes a poskim. However, the Kaf HaChaim brings that's alpi. He says alpi soida dvorim. It's dafke beYemei Nissan. He brings from the birkas of the Chidah. He says the Bracha zu al derech emes shaycha dafke leYemei Nissan. Ad kan lashon dafke beYemei alpi Kabbalah it's dafke beYemei Nissan. וכן כוזר בספר מוירה באצבע, דה מדקדקים מקפידים שיהיה בניסן דווקא. If I'm mentioning already, he says also שיהיה שתי אילונס, that's because Hailonos, שתי אילונס, again, it's even one ilon, you could say that, but he says לכתחילה should be 2 ilonos. So, but again, according to him, it's דווקא the Yemei Nissan, and the Rebbe in Shulchan Melachim, it's brought over there, from the Rebbe, that Take, from the Lashon of the Alter Rebbe, you could understand both ways, and the Ktsois HaShulchan, he understands that Alter Rebbe says, Lav Dafka B'Yemei Nissan. The Rebbe disagrees with him, the Chaim Noah, and he says, so he said, Yesh Loima, the Ishmit, the Mishnah Achroina, but in the Siddur, he pasken the B'Yemei Nissan kapshuta bedafka. V'im ken ifshar la'acher lamed. After lamed Nissan, you cannot say any more bracha. That's Yemei Nissan is dafka. Now, so I wanted to say over here is like this. So if people are going to be rigid on Yemei Nissan, so if you live in Australia and you're not going to say this bracha because there's nothing blossoming over there, as far as I know. On Nissan, right? And something in Alaska, I'm sure it's not blossoming on Nissan. The pshat is in the places where the blossoming takes place on Nissan, like Eretz Yisrael, or most time in the places that warm, at blossoming in Nissan. even though it might blossom a few days earlier or few days later, after either Sof Adar or beginning of Iyar, you davka should say it ben Nissan. It's an inyan like the Chido brings al pi Kabbalah, you may Nissan davka him. However, if you live in a place, and we had it, I think, a few times over here, also in Michigan, Nissan was still freezing. There was no blossoming. So you're not going to say, oh, it's Nissan over. I'm not saying this bracha. Al pi pshat, this bracha is birkas anenin. You say, Baruch Hashem gave us trees to benefit. We're thanking Hashem for it. So if it's blossoming an Iyar, you're going to say the bracha an Iyar, like many other poskim saying. If you have the option to do it on Nissan, it should be b'davka Nissan. Don't do it early, don't do it late. But if there's no other option, if you live in a season, in a place that the season is not Nissan, nothing blossoming, then you're going to say according to that place. Okay, so that's one detail of the halacha, that the zman of the bracha. Then there's another detail of the halacha over here. The two brings the whole bracha is blossoming on the flower before you see the fruit. What happened? You delayed it. You didn't say bracha. Now it's already. You see the fruits. Should you say the bracha or not? Tur says no. You missed the bracha. You missed the train. The Beis Yosef, he likes the svara. He says divrei tam hem. Then he brings the Mordechai and the Agos Maimonides, that they choilek on the tour, and they hold du adin im loro at shegodlu aperes etzorich levorech. So that's how we. So lemais in Shulchan Aruch, the Shulchan Aruch and Paskin like this tour, because he says over there by the Beis of divrei tamim, and he says over here. He says like this. The Gra over there disagrees with Shulchan Aruch, and he paskins dafka like the Mordechai and Agos Maimon, that they says the Iyar, it's like them, that you could say this bracha even if you missed it. We didn't say when it blossomed. Yeah, lechatchila kula alma maskim, the Iyar bracha is for blossoming. That's the Lashon HaGemara. When the blossoming, he said the bracha. But if you missed it, you could say even when it's already made fruits. The levush ipaskin like the Shulchan Aruch, that you don't say this bracha when it's already has fruits. So he says like this: and he explains why. He brings us a reason. If you see the first time the fruit, you're going to say shechionu. Some the Shulchan Aruch paskin, you could wait till you eat it, but mikar adin, if you see new fruits, you could say already shechionu. And birkas boire priyetz ala achila, and you already could say boire priyetz on the new fruit. So you don't say from this levush. You're learning that the reason when it made already a fruit, you don't say bracha because you already missed the brachas birkas anenin. On the flower when it blossomed, now it's already a new bracha. You don't say two brachas on the same fruit. That's what the svara over here, the levush brings. Why you don't say when it's so? La halacha lemaisa is like this. Since it's a big machlokes, the Iyar Rabbah also paskening over here like this Mordechai, that if and he goes with the compromise of the Bach. The Bach says there's no machlokes really. The Bach says when the Mordechai and the Agos Maimon said you say a bracha even when it's a fruit, when you didn't see the blossoming. If you saw it, you didn't say it. He also maskim, he says you don't say bracha on birkas aperes when it says a fruit, because why didn't you say it? You miss it. If you didn't see it, you're coming, let's say, to city first time to such a city, or you didn't see the tree before, only when it says a fruit on it, then you're going to say, that's how the Iyar Rabbah also paskin. You're going to say it even. But Lamaisa, since it's a machlokes aposkim, and it's a serious machlokes aposkim, that's why I think with sofek brachas lahokel, if you should try to say this on Nissan, you should try to say this when it's still blossoming. When you see fruits, with sofek brachas, not to say this bracha. It says Taka, the Kafachayim brings, and other Sforim they bring this, that there's a segula to say this birkas Hailonos. It says it's a segula Because it says the same thing when Yitzchak Avinu told Yaakov Avinu, Reach b'nik reach asad asher bercho Hashem. The Rashi brings the Yeriach reach Gan Eden. And then he gave him a bracha, Vayitan lecho. He says, somebody says the bracha, birkas Hailonos, it's going to be zoichet to that. Reach b'nik reach asad asher bercho Hashem, and he's going to be zoichet to the brachas of Vayitan lecho. Also, he brings the Kavachayim, he brings that not to do this bracha on Shabbos v'Yom Tov, for two reasons. He brings from Sefer Moed the Kol Chai that you might do tiltul, or you might take a flower from the tree, you might come to some Easter the rice over here. And then he brings from the Mekubalim not to say this bracha, that's because by the bracha you masaken the shomas, and it's in of birur and itzutzes. And this Shabbos boirer oster. Baruch is too. Not only when you boirer oichel me'oichel, birur of the nitzutzah kedusha, Shabbos is oster. Such an idea brought also in Sifrei Chasidus. Shabbos boirer oster. That's why during the week when you eat, you boirer, you ma'ala the nitzutzahs from the food. During Shabbos, you're not boirer anything, and you makabel from the holy Shabbos food. You makabel kedusha. Then he says one more important thing over here. He says, "Mo'odis atzam bekavanosu bevrocha zu." Should have big kavanah on this. Shul tikun haneshamos. Besides that, al pi pshat, there is an inyan of tikun neshamos. I mean, birkas hanehenin. You're thanking Hashem for the fruit trees, but it says you also do tikun neshamos. Shemgulgolas ba'atzah asoda va'asovim. The many neshamos nebach, they didn't come to their menucha and the megulgal into the trees, to the grass. By doing this bracha, you masaken them v'ivaka shalem rachamim. That's part of the bracha. You're asking for a bracha for das neshama, the sheva tikkun. Okay, shkoyach.